It's now time for Punted, a podcast discussing the very latest in all things racing, including tips, giveaways and laughs. Here's your hosts, Scott McKinnon and Nathan Kendrick.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of the Punted podcast. Nath, lucky enough to be joined by multiple Group 1 winning jockey Ryan Maloney.
Very exciting. He's in red hot form at the moment as well.
Just notched up another one too.
Another Group 1 win on the weekend. I think he had a double yesterday, a double Sunday.
Yeah.
And then, the Group 1 winner on Saturday. So thanks for joining us, Ryan.
No worries, boys. Pleasure.
Well, to kick it off, this is what I was meaning to ask Scotty before to see if he knew the reason why, but where'd you get the nickname Pug from?
I used to drink at a place in Essendon called Pug Mahone's, and obviously Mahone, Malone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just, so it originated from that, and then they just shortened it to the Pug.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Do many people call you Ryan?
Nah, not anymore.
Yeah, it's felt a bit weird saying Ryan.
My kids even call me by my nickname, which is a bit unusual, but
I guess
we'll push the boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we'll start with how you got into the racing game, Pug. I'll call you Pug because I don't know any different either. I guess, when did you start or how did you get interested?
I was actually playing local footy where I grew up in Colac, and my coach owned a few horses, and he kept telling me I'm too small to be a footy player, go be a jockey. And I didn't have any interest in horses whatsoever, but my good friend, Jordan Slater, his parents had trotters or paces, and the local trainer by the name of Mel Carson had leased boxes and yards there, and my mate's dad, he went up and approached Mel Carson and said, would you be able to teach him a few things? And I still at this stage didn't want a bar of it, but they pushed me into it, and the rest is history.
And how old were you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to ask the same
how old were you at that age, Pug?
I was 16.
Yeah, right. So
yeah,
you didn't grow up around horses or have family and horses or anything like that?
No, actually, my grandpa, my dad's dad, he had race horses, but I never got to meet him, unfortunately. But at Tatura, his name's still on the committee board, and he had a vested interest in horses, obviously. But like I said, I never got to meet him. But that was the only connection I had in racing. But I never ventured into it until I was 16.
Yeah, fair enough. Who were you apprenticed to in Melbourne to start you off?
I was apprenticed to Mark Young.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to Steve Richards, and I don't think he could cop me too much because I was a bit wasn't too keen on track work, and
bit of a rogue.
Ended up finishing my indentures with Robert Smurden.
Yeah. You had a good association with Robert too. He chalked up a heap of winners, rode some good horses.
Yeah, Nature comes to mind.
Yeah.
He had I had a great time riding for them, obviously, and like you said, a good association. But unfortunately, that comes to an end.
Yeah, I guess. Is that what made you move up north? Basically, that coming to an end, and you thought.
It certainly had a bearing in it. I didn't have when Toby Edmonds offered the gig. I didn't have anything to lose, so I just took it with both hands and haven't looked back.
Yeah, and probably since COVID too, Pug, because obviously there was all those sort of boundaries as to where you could ride and things like that, and that sort of took you into a different zone, being I think it was Gold Coast, Toowoomba, and Ipswich maybe, and then you decided to switch zones, and that led you into the Tony Gollan stable, where you've had a fair bit of luck as of late.
Certainly has. Obviously, he's been the premier trainer for I don't know how many seasons. And he's got a lot of good cattle behind him, a lot of good clients, owners and clients behind him, and I don't know when it will stop, to be honest.
He's got plenty coming through.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you how good you ride. It all depends on who you ride for at this day and age.
Yeah, for sure.
And well, on that note too about Tony, you've ridden Golden Boom too. He won on the weekend in the Derby McCarthy. He's only a 3-year-old, and I think he's had about five starts for 3 wins in a second. So where does he sort of line up? As you said, you've sort of rode Nature Strip and horses like that, Alligator Blood. So where does Golden Boom line up? Because we haven't probably seen the best of him yet, being only a 3-year-old.
Yeah, 100%. So his ability's right up there. He's still a bit of a work in progress. He I think Saturday was probably a real good learning curve for him, being in behind them,
horses,
having the shoulder out, and what he's done to date is just basically on ability alone. So I'm not sure what lies for him after the Winter Carnival, but I think he looks really well placed up here.
And where does he go to
over the Winter
next?
Carnival. Good question. He goes to a race over 1,200 at the Eagle Farm.
Okay, yeah.
Pug just lines up and wins.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't know.
Yeah,
Just wherever they are, that's
Put
where he
me on,
goes.
I'll
yeah.
win.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
sorry.
You go.
Mintaka Lad too.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Pug, he looked pretty smart.
Yeah, he was never going to get beat, was he?
Yeah.
He's always he's shown us plenty in trials, and when I've gone up to ride him for Dave, and I think yesterday was obviously he smashed the clock and
Smashed it.
he.
I guess
Not sure if he's still.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, what was that?
No, sorry, I just banged the table. But no, we'll keep on that topic, but I was going to ask with Mintaka Lad, I know they're 2 completely different horses and you rode them both when they were young, but he looks just like a speed machine, that run them sectionals a bit like Nature Strip when he was younger, do you think?
No, I think he's more in the category of like we own a smart one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice ability, not sure how good he really is, but he's only obviously had a handful of starts, and Dave likes to take him along slowly, and so they just seem to get better as they go on with preparations.
Yeah, for sure. I guess Hong Kong will be beckoning him, I'd say. They'd be ringing.
Yeah, you'd think so. Deep field.
Yeah, I think
too.
there's a bit of interest.
They like the deep fields over there.
I think a bit of interest from J. Dot.
Yeah. And on horses that you've ridden that are up there, obviously Alligator Blood's another one, just beaten in the Caulfield Guineas, and then he comes out and he won the Australian Guineas shortly after that. He was probably one of the horses up there as well that's obviously gone on to be a very good horse that you rode as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, 100%. I was lucky enough that Jeff Lloyd retired, and I was able to get the sit on him when Dave trained him.
Yeah.
Very, very stiff in the Caulfield Guineas. Lost his way a bit, obviously, and Gay got a hold of him, and yeah, he's always. I always felt he was a good, really good weight for age horse. And he certainly proved it.
Did you think when he went to Gay too? Did you think you would get the call up to ride him again, or you thought they'd use a jockey down in Sydney?
Yeah, I thought they would probably. Yeah. Probably. I think Tim Clark was in line straight away, so I just wished him the best of luck, and I've watched him still closely
with interest
in all his starts.
Yeah.
I guess talking about Sydney too, Pug, you went down there for an autumn and you were pretty successful as well. The filly just sold for a whopping 3.2, wasn't it, Nate?
Yeah. 3.9.
3.9?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes.
Did you get a cut?
Yeah.
Any kickback?
No, it'd be nice, but...
you just want to maintain the ride. Yeah, keep the ride.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's good. Do you have any spring? Are you going down Melbourne, hopefully, or are you just going to take it easy?
I'm probably going to head back down to Sydney over the spring and have another crack down there.
Yeah.
I think Skirt the Law obviously come back. I think she's going down to Melbourne, so it's just a bit up in the air at the moment. So I'll get a good bit of guide once sort of August rolls around, I guess.
Pal, what does your week look like, or even your daily routine? Because obviously you ride on a Wednesday, Saturday in town, and then a Sunday here at the Sunny Coast. And if there's a Friday meeting, you're usually there as well. So on every other day that you're not race riding, what does your day sort of look like?
I usually try and always do something exercise-wise. Otherwise, not that it doesn't. I can get away with a couple of days here and there, not training, but just mentally, physically, and keeps you sharp and your weight right. Obviously, in check, that's the most important part. But running around after kids, that's a fair bit of chunk out of my time.
Yeah, it's a job in itself.
We've got a property out near Canungra, and we've nearly finished renovating it. But, now the hardest part comes is the landscaping part. So digging holes, mowing lawns. We've got 10 acres. So
have you got a couple of horses out there?
Yeah, we've got a couple of one pony at the moment, but I think my youngest one, she's pretty keen, and she's telling me it's too slow. She wants to go on a Magic race. So we've got enough. We've got a few paddocks lined up here now, so we've got room for a few more.
So do you ride much track work?
Yeah, I ride a fair bit of track work Tuesday, Saturday mainly, and then obviously trials, jump outs, that sort of thing. But the workload up here is a lot easier
than down there.
A lot less demanding than Melbourne. The Melbourne was. That was just crazy. It was just 24/7, and look back and you just wonder how I sustained it for so long.
And it's probably been a lucrative move for you too, coming up here, because you're one of Queensland's leading jockeys, if not Queensland's leading jockey.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, when I made the move, I had nothing to lose, and it's been the best move I've obviously ever made. Obviously, the pull down in Melbourne's a lot bigger, stronger, and the amount of workload you sort of do, it's a lot more laid back. Yeah. Not as much racing, not as much So I think you enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, and the weather's better too, Pug. Just to remind you, the weather.
Oh, the weather, yeah, you can't go past that.
You wouldn't want to be down there this time of year.
Do you ever see yourself moving home?
No, I went
this
down
is home.
Obviously, prefer Dean Holland's funeral. Unfortunately, I had to go back. I went back down there to send him off, and I just couldn't believe how cold it was. I just acclimatised too easily here, and I just don't know how you could go back to that.
And what about Hong Kong? Is that something you've ever considered if you got an invitation to go over there? We saw Michael D. He had his first ride over there last night, and he won it too.
He had 4 rides, didn't miss the first 4.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of people said I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I like I'm not a real city person. I like the outdoors and not being cooped up.
Yeah.
And obviously that's you're just surrounded by high rises. But I think if I certainly got the opportunity, I couldn't knock it back. I think it'd be a great experience to. Because I certainly love watching Hong Kong racing.
Yeah.
And if I got the opportunity, I certainly would have a crack. But I don't think I'd be there amount of time.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned Skirt the Law just before too. Has she had a trial or a jump out since she's been back this time in?
No, she's just come back into pre-training, so she'll be taken along. Obviously, there's still a lot of time before spring, so
okay.
She'll.
You there?
Yep.
Oh, you're there. I thought you dropped out. It's lagging out a bit. Hey, what's your Stradbroke ride? You got one yet, Pug?
Nah, I think it's going to be too light for me.
What was it?
No, I'd never secured one, but
yeah.
Just my manager said, can't get the sweatsuit on really quickly.
You have to run a few laps. Them knees. eh?
Oh yeah, the knees. I don't think they'd hold up. Pounding the pavement too much.
What are you riding now? Because I think I saw on Saturday you've got a couple at 55.
Yeah, 55 and a half.
Yeah, and that's your bottom line.
56 is comfortable.
Yeah.
I've made the conscious decision to just ride at that sort of weight and don't try and go any lower unless it's a really, really good opportunity. Obviously, I've had a few weight issues and let a few people down over the years since being up here, and it's just a good balance between lifestyle and work. So I just keep it at that.
Yeah, you got to live a little, Pug. You can't just dying every 100%. Day. And you don't smoke, do you? You don't smoke? No. So you can't even have a durry and a coffee like Damien did. That's all he used to eat. 30 durries and 4 coffees. He'd be right.
Well, the vapes to go now.
Oh, yeah. I know.
You don't really see anyone with the cigarettes anymore. It's more the vapes.
No.
They don't even have to go out of the jockey's room. It's just like a chuffing house.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They seem to smoke. They seem to get on the vape more than they smoke.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And this weekend, Pug, obviously last week, we'll touch on last week because there's a big win, Group 1 win, Doomben Cup. There's been a few different ways to pronounce it.
Huetor? Yeah.
I think
Huetor.
Huetor. There you go. We're completely off the mark there.
That's how I pronounce it anyway.
Yeah, right. And how'd you end up on with the ride on that one?
I've had not a bad association with Snowden's. I rode for a bit from when they were with Darley down in Victoria.
Yeah.
And sort of they've given me quite a few opportunities since being up here as well, and always seem to have a bit of luck with them. So I don't know the reason. Well, I thought Kieran might have retained the ride, but they rang me up, and I was lucky enough to ride him in the Hollandale and then secure the ride, keep the ride for the Doomben Cup. Yeah,
well, we had Kian Dickens on last week, and she was pretty keen on it, and there was a good run in the Hollandale in the lead up. Were you pretty confident going into the race?
Yeah, I was. Certainly the way he come through the run. I galloped him on the Saturday after, and I just said, I rang Paul and I said, I can't believe how well he's come through and how well he worked. And he goes, oh, it's good because he's not really a real flash worker.
Okay, yeah.
Then I galloped him on the Tuesday, and it was just like he was just looked after himself. The smart ones seem to do that. They don't
do more than they have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I couldn't fault him in his action, and I said, all systems go. And I learned a fair bit from him when I rode him in the Hollandale. I find those Europeans, they don't like to be bullied and really ridden aggressively. Obviously, over there, they've only got 5 whips, where over the last sort of 100 here, we can get stuck right into them. And in the Hollandale, I did that, and I just don't reckon he appreciated it that much. And Saturday, I think I only hit him once and rode him hands and ears for the rest. So
and away you went.
I got a good understanding.
And do you have any idea? Do you have any idea where he's off to next?
He's going to the Q22.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bolting. And Zaki's disappeared now, so
it's gone on the paddock. So,
maintain that ride, Pug. Push J-Mac out of the road. Get him out of there.
Pretty hard to take off a winning jockey.
Yeah, that's right.
It does happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And you rode. I've been meaning to ask you this, Pug. You rode one of ours on Sunday, and we've thought he goes pretty good. And his name's Lost in Transit. What were your thoughts there?
I was really impressed with him. He still does quite a few things wrong. At Eagle Farm, he was wanting to shy away from the other horse, the leader, and then he won convincingly enough. And then Sunday, Shinto just laid on him a little bit. I was trying to get in the box seat, and it just stirred him straight up, and he wanted to over race and hang off in the first corner. And they went along on a good clip, and I was thinking, he's going to feel the pinch late here, but he ran right through the line and just won like a good horse. So I think once he gets it mentally, the penny drops with him, he's going to be a very nice horse going forward.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess what other good rides, do you have any sneaky ones that you haven't showcased yet for the Winter Carnival?
No, I've sort of shown my hand, to be honest.
You're showing your
Unless,
hand.
yeah, unless I can sort of snag one from down south late. I haven't got one in the Derby this Saturday, but I
Yeah.
did like me riding the Sires, California, but it's drawn an absolutely woeful barrier. But
Was that
you get a
Gerald
bit of luck in
Ryan?
that.
Yeah.
Gerald
Yeah,
Ryan's one,
California. Yeah. I couldn't see why he couldn't run a drum for sure.
And you've obviously had a close association with Aquis brand as well, Pug?
Yeah, they've been really good to me even since I've just first moved up here. They've been really solid. So they gave me a few bones when I went down to Sydney, which is the reason I went down. And I was able to get the ride in the sunshine in Paris and whatnot, and that was a huge highlight.
And I don't know if this is a touchy subject, but we've touched on Skirt the Law, and she won the Magic Millions this year. But 2 years ago, I think it was now, Isotope, when you came off her,
Yeah.
and she was about $2 favourite, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that would have been a bit of a, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very tough pill to swallow. It's probably nearly as hard as the Caulfield Guineas. But one heel, like she just didn't corner as well as I would have liked, and she just got to away games heel once, and it was all over.
Happens quick, eh, Pug? It's boom.
It's amazing. You can see other jockeys in a race be on a heel for half a furlong, and they just never go down. You get one heel, and it comes crashing down.
Mm. And Caulfield Guineas, I actually want to touch on that again. On Alligator Blood that day, did you think that you'd had the race won, or was it sort of?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Yeah.
I was thinking about what salute I was going to do, to be honest, and all of a sudden I seen Super Steph out of the corner of my eye, and I went, oh, yeah, it was that was another one, very tough to swallow.
And you're a pretty cool, calm, collected rider, Pug, but obviously Queensland's probably getting more competitive nowadays as well. Like we see a lot of jockeys coming up from Melbourne and Sydney to sort of relocate up here. Who do you reckon would be your biggest rival, or the person on the track that you like to beat the most?
Yeah, here we go. Come on, be honest.
You can be honest.
Yeah.
We only get 100 listeners.
I love beating Jimmy Byrne.
Oh. He would have been tragic. He's in hospital getting the knees done as well, and Mintaka lad wins like that.
I've actually become pretty good mates with him. When he first got up here, he I don't think he liked me too much, but I must be acquired taste because he's come to like me, I think, over the last couple of years.
Yeah. He can get a little bit feisty, but yeah, that's right. It takes a bit to get him around. Then he's all right, Jimmy. I don't mind Jim.
But obviously you're a busy man, and we appreciate you coming on. We did have a few little cutouts on the audio, but that's all right. We'll get that fixed up. But thanks for coming on, Pug.
Appreciate you, Pug. Legend.
No worries, boys. I'll see you Sunday.
Talk to you Sunday. Yeah, Friday. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
2 meetings. Give me a break.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
See you, boys.
See ya, bro.